Currency. Like a couple BitCoins. Money, though. Hold up on my Nakamoto.
Hello. Welcome to the Blockchain Dynamic Show.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Welcome. Is Sunday, August 27th, 2017.
Episode 76 tonight.
Here we are. It is episode number 76. That's cool stuff. I am Brandon Doge.
My name is Woody. And as usual, we are brought to you by Cryptopia. That's cryptopia.co.nz.
Cryptopia.co.nz. That's right. You're going to want to check them out. They are a fantastic crypto trading platform.
Your one-stop crypto shop, in case you forgot.
Say. Yeah, I've heard that. They have a ton of great features, actually, on Cryptopia, in addition to a interesting selection of coins. They have coin information, forums, custom two-factor authentication, one of my favorite things. You can select which portions of the site you want to be protected by your Google Authenticator. Just cool stuff, kind of all the stuff you're used to, and then kind of some surprising stuff maybe you haven't seen before.
Yeah, I like that when exchanges allow you to make a read-only key for a certain part of access, so you can use certain utilities without worry. Cryptopia also has a forum, and in that forum, they have an altcoin section. Top of that altcoin section, we have a thread stickied. If you head over there and say hi, we appreciate it. It's a good place to get in touch with us. Let us know what you'd like to hear on the show, and we can reward you with a little dot if you stop by. That's Cryptopia's native currency. And we also like to give away dot live on the show for people that can get our trivia questions right. And today we have 30,000 dot in the jackpot.
You're going to want those dots, man. That's a lot of dot. We've been kind of, the way this jackpot works is if somebody doesn't get the question during the live show, we will carry it over to the next week. So we've had a couple weeks now where we've been rolling the dots over. It's going to be a pretty sizable amount of dots here, man.
Yeah, especially with dot and BitCoin doing pretty well. And
you're going to want those dots.
Just as an example, the questions haven't been easy. That's why they're not been getting got. The question last week was, what is the new coin market cap ticker with a conflict this week referring to last week. So that was
tough. That's tough stuff.
That was hard, but the answer was HCC, which at the conflicting new one was healthcare chain, which was some maybe Chinese version of a healthcare coin. I don't know.
Like a Chinese equivalent of Patientory, maybe. It's
maybe something like that.
It's like Binance. It's a Binance coin. That new Chinese exchange.
But anyway, let's get on with the show.
All right, here we go. We're going to kick it off as per usual with a little bit of news.
That's right. We love that news.
News. Got to have news.
Bitcoin Cash can't stay out of the news yet.
This is good. This is good Bitcoin Cash news, man. I love this bit. Bitcoin Cash becomes the longest chain, is what I'm seeing here on this headline.
Right.
So is this the longest chain of all time?
No.
How do you even decide that? So the point that they're trying to make here is that the Bitcoin Cash chain is longer than the Bitcoin chain, right?
Right.
And that would be actually a pretty interesting dynamic if they didn't completely change the difficulty retargeting algorithm when Bitcoin Cash came out, right?
Right.
So it's like, yeah, we lowered the difficulty and we got more blocks. Obviously not a huge surprise, but still funny.
They would have needed a lot of hash power to keep those blocks going without that change.
Right. And the whole longest chain thing is more relevant when it's like not a straight up hard fork, like if it's a regular fork. But they're putting this one in the news and it's pretty funny.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. I think you said it well.
If anything, it shows how effective that retargeting algorithm they cooked up with for Bitcoin Cash is in terms of allowing their chain to stay active, because if they had just done the fork without any adjustments, their chain would be like still probably really slow.
It would definitely be way worse off than it is.
Yep.
Even though it's still adjusting, I would say. If it's going to get a nice steady rate of blocks, it hasn't quite done that yet, I don't think.
But at any rate, interesting that they have more blocks than Bitcoin, but not really that important of an indicator, all things considered.
No, pretty fun though.
Next up, we have in the news Estonia. They are going to release potentially a government-sponsored ICO, the first of its kind.
Nice. Yeah, we've been talking about Estonia a little bit due to their government-backed ID program and
This is tied into that.
mothership being based there.
Oh, right.
So what would this mean to have a government-backed cryptocurrency? I'm not even quite sure what they're trying to say. Would that be a currency inside of their country primarily then?
I think it's pretty narrow. It's pretty narrow focus, and essentially it's designed to be, I think, like a supplement to the e-residency thing. I'm not sure exactly what the...
Like maybe something you could use as an e-resident to pay contracts or something?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's pretty close to it, yeah. So it's not like they're saying, oh, we're going to replace our currency with some ICO or something, obviously.
Right. Huh.
Est coins is what they're calling it. Could be used to pay for both public and private services in the country. Yeah, that's interesting. It's funny to me to think of small countries doing ICOs and then just opening the future of whatever this service is up to, whatever random investors want to do, speculators.
Yeah. Well, I guess, as with most ICOs, even though this one's backed by a country, I'll just keep my eye on it until more info is available. I'd love to see something like that happen. The implications of it are kind of hard to think of, honestly.
Yeah.
Another piece of news that was pretty exciting, but maybe it was just that so much build-up to it made it less, I don't know.
Impactful, maybe.
Impactful. Segwit activates on BitCoin.
Segwit has activated. And probably one of the most torturous and drawn-out processes anyone could ever have imagined. They've done it. They've activated Segwit on BitCoin.
So that's good.
It's funny. A lot of people are kind of portraying the scaling conflict as like kind of being over with, but it seems like all of their real contention is still around the 2 megabyte hard fork that still is sort of supposed to happen in November, right? And then you have the core team saying they're not going to do it.
Yeah.
You've got all these companies saying they are going to do it. So it seems like Segwit was almost like a red herring in a way. I mean, it's cool that the technology was implemented, obviously. But
they still got some ways to go, huh?
Yeah, and it does show, I mean, so far none of the negative predictions about it have come true.
Right. Yeah, if it was making coins vulnerable like some people were implying, you would expect that those would start getting exploited right away.
Yep.
And at least we haven't seen that yet.
But we're still pretty early in the going.
I wonder, I mean, I didn't pay close attention to all of the arguments because I thought that they were kind of pointless in the scheme of things since everything would be proven in time. But I wonder, looking back, I know that there were people on both sides, and if there were technical reasons that they saw that Segwit wasn't going to work, this would be a perfect time to like follow up with that type of argument as to either what has changed,
Yep.
Kind of come full circle with the discussion there.
Yeah, and it seems like a lot of those criticisms, it's like people can make a technical complaint, but almost very few people have the technical expertise to actually follow through with what the ramifications of the complaint would be, whatever the exploit might be or whatever the situation is. And yeah, it's pretty obvious if there is an exploit that somebody could use that you might see it soon, but...
Right.
So far, so good. And again, we didn't see it on any of the other networks either. It's not like BitCoin is the first one to go with Segwit.
That's right. And if you recall, when Litecoin did it, somebody with quite a bit of Litecoin put some Litecoin in a Segwit wallet and said, come and get it.
Nobody did. So yeah, that's cool stuff. Segwit activated on BitCoin. Another thing that'll be interesting to see on it is if it provides the boost to transaction capacity that people had been saying. Because, it's never been really billed as necessarily a huge thing for transaction capacity. It's not like it's not like it adds that much extra room per block for transactions. So I'm curious to see what the effect is, especially with Bitcoin Cash siphoning hash power, what the throughput situation will be like for Bitcoin going forward. Obviously, you'd think the loss of hash power will get factored in at a difficulty retargeting, but
yeah.
So no, yeah, cool stuff. Things are happening. Still seems like to me that the 2 megabyte hard fork is obviously still the major contentious thing that's coming up still for Bitcoin.
Right. There's always like the next date coming up.
Yeah,
it feels like with this story. So maybe that's why it didn't feel like a climax or something to me. But
yep.
Segwit activates, and that's a cool step. That's great.
The market didn't crash either. I think a lot of people thought, Segwit activating is kind of the last big news item on this, the first part of this whole scaling debate resolution story, I guess. And a lot of people were expecting that there would be a build up in price up to it and then a crash, kind of a dump on news type situation. And we haven't seen that, at least as of yet.
No, we have not.
That is the Segwit activation in the news. We also have Stratis. I thought this was kind of cool. The Stratis Breeze wallet alpha launch was this week.
Nice.
The whole point of this thing, my understanding is that it implements Tumblebit, which is an anonymity protocol. And they're saying it's now available. You can use it. It interacts with both Bitcoin and Stratis. I'm not sure what the dynamic there is. But they're saying that you can test it with the Bitcoin and Stratis test nets. So I'm curious to know.
Okay.
Curious to see what that interaction is or exactly what the ramifications of that are. It's cool to see. They're also saying this connects to their vision of the platform being codable with C# and other kind of more standard development languages. And supposedly that ties into that as well. But I'm not sure what the exact dynamic there is either, to be honest.
So it sounds like they're at least making forward progress on their roadmap, if nothing else, huh?
Yeah, I always like seeing when these longer-term projects get, kind of alpha phase and testnet products going. Is as far as fundamentals and stuff go, that's always a huge step forward. So it's cool to see, what are people going to find when they actually can use the software.
Nice. Stratis
got that Breeze wallet alpha launch this week. And that's going to wrap it up for our news this week. Good stuff, man.
Yeah. Nothing like Segwit activating, like I have been expressing, feels like it should be huge news, but I don't feel like there was any huge news this week.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, it was a foregone. The Segwit activation thing, it's like, it's been a foregone conclusion. The big news was when it got locked in, right? Because then,
yeah,
there was still an element of doubt, I think. And so all these other incremental steps have kind of just been, less impactful.
Yeah. All right, so that's our news segment. Now we'll jump right into the markets.
All right,
we always like to start it off with Bitcoin.
It's true.
And Bitcoin did well this week. Did not break that all-time high by just a smidge.
It's true. It kind of it was teasing the new all-time high, and then it crashed back down. Crashed being, I guess, a relative term. We're chilling at 43.77.
Nice.
When we ran this snapshot, not bad. That's at $250 up
from last Sunday.
From last week, that's a 6% gain on USD. So that's a pretty solid. That's still a pretty solid week for Bitcoin.
Yeah. And it became a very solid week for ETH as well, which was sitting at 340.26, which is up $43.05, and that's a change of about 14%, 14.5%, really.
Yeah, a good week for Ethereum. People are wondering when, Ethereum's been pretty weird, like kind of strangely sideways during the last leg of this Bitcoin run, and people have been wondering when it was going to kind of make a move or maybe answer, what Bitcoin is doing. Bitcoin's making all these new all-time highs. Is Ethereum just going to sit and watch it happen? So they're starting to move out a little bit this week. Usually when Ethereum moves, we see a big week across the board for altcoins. And that's pretty much the story this week. It was a good week for altcoins. Since this latest Bitcoin run started, like from maybe the mid-3000s, we have mostly seen altcoins underperforming Bitcoin.
Right.
And this is one of the first weeks we've seen where they are actually up versus Bitcoin about 4.5%. So, Bitcoin up 6% already. Top 100 altcoins are actually overperforming that. They're up about 10.6% versus USD.
Okay. It's like the new times or the old times again.
The new old times, the positive correlation is back.
Awesome.
Last time this happened, it was the first step of a preposterous bull run. I think it's hard to believe that the same thing could happen this time. And obviously, we've got, Bitcoin is kind of like the hammer hanging over everybody's head, could drop at any second.
Right, and it's very difficult to not lose ground on a USD value basis with Bitcoin going down quickly.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially at the moment.
Well, that's the flip side of the positive correlation. If altcoins are going up with Bitcoin, usually what happens is when Bitcoin turns, alts go with them. And if you're taking Bitcoin losses on top of altcoin losses, your value can diminish pretty fast that way.
So this week, out of the top 99 coins, 58 of them are up.
58 coins up.
That's versus USD.
Versus US dollar.
And 45 of them are up versus Bitcoin. So
we actually had more coins down versus Bitcoin than up, even though the altcoins gained overall. That's pretty normal. It just means kind of a lot of losers and a smaller number of big winners.
Yep.
Let's see here. The median change, that's reflected in the median change here, minus 2.8% in the top 100.
Versus Bitcoin.
Yep. Median change versus US dollar, plus 3%. So pretty normal stuff there.
Yep.
Let's take a look at our gainers and losers.
On the gainer side, Monero up 127%. Jeez Louise. Blocknet up 103%. No Limit Coin up 91%. Lisk up 82%. And Verge up 45%.
Those are some big numbers for some big coins. New all-time high for Blocknet. Cool to see. In hindsight, it's like, hindsight's 2020, obviously, right? But Monero kind of being the first coin to kick off this next wave of alts is really, seems like an obvious choice, I guess.
Yeah. Then there were other big coins doing well, too, that just don't happen to be on that top percentage-wise list this week. Litecoin was doing really great.
That's true.
Dash did really well.
Also true.
I know there were others out there, too.
Yeah, a lot of big high caps moving this week. That also follows through with the kind of market, one of the, market cliches, that you get Bitcoin moves and then high caps move after it. We're seeing that playing out a little bit in the numbers this week. Of course, we still don't know what Bitcoin's going to do, of course.
That's right.
Losers this week, Bytom down 64%, OpenANX down 51%, District 0x down 42%, Gas down 39%, and MCAP down 33%.
Yeah, so there's always going to be some coins on that list that lose a huge amount of their value. Those are actually pretty big percentages.
Yeah, those are huge losses, man. Really just volatile this week. Big winners, big losers. All right, who's kicked out here? Kicked out of the top 100 this week. We got the boot. OpenANX is gone.
Right.
IO Coin, gone. Safe Exchange Coin, gone. Ad Token and vSlice, all kicked out.
Popping into the top 100, First Coin, Mothership, Zcoin, Faircoin, and Vertcoin.
So, Vertcoin and Zcoin are probably pretty used to being in the top 100. They're coming back in. Mothership is new.
Mothership's new to it. Faircoin's a fairly old one.
Yep.
First Coin, I really am not familiar with. The lowest cap on that list, the top 100 list, would have been Verge at this point when we run it, and that's at a $46 million market cap, just for reference.
$46 million to get into the top 100 these days. Not bad.
Yeah, that's changed. Wow.
Alrighty, next up in our markets report, we got a custom coin index. We got a user request.
Yeah. The request was sort of for decentralized data coins index.
And some of the suggestions were like Golem and MadeSafe. So the theme we've cooked up here is that if the coin is either for decentralized storage like SIA or MadeSafe, or decentralized computing in terms of like Golem or Elastic, then we're going to pile it into this index.
Yeah, so the index coins are MadeCoin, SIA Coin, Storage Coin, Library Coin, Golem Network Token, Sonum, and Elastic.
That's right. We could only come up with 7 coins that kind of fit the category that was suggested here.
So hit us up with more, right?
Yeah, if there's any that we missed, by all means, fire them our way. And so the question is, how did these coins do this week?
Let's see. Out of those 7 coins mentioned, 4 of them are up versus USD, and 2 of them are up versus Bitcoin.
That's right. So the index did actually gain overall versus Bitcoin about 2.4%. So that's slightly below the performance of the top 100 overall, but still pretty strong showing this week.
You notice that median change is dead on, though, from the top 100.
Median minus 2.8%.
Exactly the same as the top 100 on that.
That was a Sia coin was the median there. The winner this week for this category is MadeSafe up 21% and Elastic up 7%. On the loser's side, Storage down 25% and Library down 9%. So really no signs of a trend here in this category. Right, kind of just going with the flow, it seems like.
Yep.
But that could change.
Yeah, throw us some more of those coins that might fit into the decentralized data or computing coins category.
This will be a fun one because it's a small category, and we'll see if the 2 big names in here, obviously, are probably Made and Sia. I haven't actually checked on market cap because Sonam's got a huge market
We don't want to
cap
put
now, too.
Ethereum in here, though. We talked about that.
Right, yeah.
together.
Where do you draw the line on what the decentralized computing is and stuff? But
And it's also just got such a big market cap that putting it into one of these indexes doesn't really do the same service.
yeah, it messes up the numbers.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll see. Maybe if like Elastic pumps, are we going to see Golem and Sonam go with it? I'm curious to see how that plays out. Next up on our custom coin indexes, we have our Ethereum report.
Yeah, this is, I'm sure you have heard of Ethereum tokens by now.
Have you?
They're tokens on Ethereum.
There's a lot of them. People like them. They're hot these days. So what do we got in the list here? We have 44 coins in our Ethereum index now.
Okay.
We added Stratis and QTUM last week, so they're in the calculation now. Of those coins, 25 are up versus US dollar, 25 out of 44. 17 out of 44 up versus Bitcoin.
All right.
With an index change versus Bitcoin of minus 2.5%. So these actually did worse than
Our top 100.
and worse than the storage coins.
Right.
What's interesting here is that this is a week where Ethereum is up 15%, and this is a trend that we've kind of noticed in the past, is that when Ethereum is really moving, the Ethereum tokens tend to underperform it pretty substantially. And so I guess we kind of saw that again this week. Ethereum tokens had been doing pretty well this kind of like this month, the past few weeks. And so it's also not surprising to see them blow off some steam. And then it's even less surprising when you think about how much Ethereum moved up this week.
Interesting. Now, a lot of Ethereum tokens obviously are traded against Ethereum.
Yes.
Like Liquid Exchange is pretty much dedicated to that, and I know that it's growing elsewhere. But do you think that other tokens that are traded against Ethereum get the same type of dynamic as Ethereum goes up? Is it related to them being Ethereum tokens or being traded against Ethereum? Or am I just kind of making an unnecessary distinction?
Well, so that's an interesting question, right? Because it goes back to the old question of if Bitcoin goes up, do things that are traded against Bitcoin tend to lose value versus Bitcoin? Or do they tend to gain, right? That's the negative-positive correlation in the overall market.
Yeah.
So the question is, would you see the same thing happening on Ethereum tokens that are traded against Ethereum? There's the complicating dynamic is that most of them have active Bitcoin markets as well. In most cases, the Bitcoin markets will draw more volume than the Ethereum-based markets.
That's true.
So it'd be hard for me to actually make a determination on that question. I feel like it has to be a factor, right? And we're seeing evidence of that in this persistent trend where we see Ethereum tokens underperforming Ethereum on weeks where Ethereum is up, right?
Yeah.
And so it'd be really hard to actually analyze that directly because of all the kind of the confounding factors. But that, this outcome that we are seeing is one of the things that you would expect if it was true, that same dynamic is at play.
That makes sense. And that would imply maybe so that if Ethereum base pair trading were to pick up in volume, then Ethereum's change would be more significant against the things it's being traded against as well.
Yeah, exactly. We'd expect to get an even more clear manifestation of the traditional Bitcoin thing, where Bitcoin goes up, alts go down, or even like this week, when the markets kind of go completely crazy and Bitcoin goes up and alts go up. You'd expect to see kind of the same macro trends take place on the Ethereum market unto themselves.
Cool.
And it'll be interesting to see it. Ethereum markets have picked up a lot of steam recently too. Their volumes and stuff, especially on Bittrex, are way up.
Right.
And so we're going to potentially see more of those kind of effects come into play. As far as which tokens did good this week, Minerium, Unity Ingot, BitPartCoin all up, and Economy, iExec, RLC, and Pillar all are down.
All right. We've also been liking to keep up with our gaming coins index lately.
It's a fun category.
Let's see. This, just to let everybody who's listening know, this includes Gamecoin, First Blood, DataBytes, Vox, Nexium, Byte Crystals, HunterCoin, LeetCoin, TrollCoin, Gold Pieces, and MobileGo.
That's right. So we got some kind of big cap, low cap.
Yeah, it's just a nice spread of gaming coins.
How did the index do this week? They are, versus Bitcoin, down 6.4%. The biggest loser this week, again, is the gaming coins.
Wow.
This has been a relatively persistent trend for us the past few weeks.
Yeah. Just a bad handful of coins we've been tracking, huh?
And it's funny because game credits kind of been determining the direction of the market. But this week, game credits was actually up a little bit. But the overall index was brought down by MobileGo and DataBits, each down about 20%. And
MobileGo and both of those are pretty big too.
Yeah, MobileGo at 63 for their CoinMarketCap rank, DataBits at 148. The winner this week is TrollCoin, but even being up 106%, that puts TrollCoin at rank 540 on CoinMarketCap.
Oh yeah. I think to fall that low, you have to be in the low volume category.
Oh, it's not actually counting it. Okay.
Well, they count it differently
amongst themselves.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So Gamecoin's continuing to underperform the market. Final custom index that we've been tracking lately is our Masternode coins. How are coins with masternodes doing?
Yeah, we really wanted to track this one because masternodes have always been the rage.
Yeah, they've been hot. And the question is, does that translate into a broad trend for the coins that decide to implement them? What we've seen since we started this index is that it started off like maybe, I think we started tracking this maybe 5-6 weeks ago.
Sounds right.
We noticed it kind of tended to track with the market, but it was really volatile. You would have bigger winners, bigger losers overall, even among some of the higher cap coins.
Right.
Starting maybe 3 weeks ago, we started to see the Masternode coins start to overperform the other subsets that we were looking at pretty noticeably.
Right.
And so now the question will be, this week, have they been able to keep up that trend?
So there are a ton of Masternode coins out there. We're aware of that. We have 25 of them on this list. I'm not going to read them all off right now, but 13 of them are up versus USD, and 10 of them are up versus Bitcoin.
So that really fits right into the dynamic of the top 100. Most are up versus Bitcoin. Most are down, or most are up versus USD, rather. I'm sorry. Most are down versus Bitcoin, but the big winners offset the losers. And that's so with the Masternode coins, they are up versus Bitcoin overall 8.3%, up versus USD 14.6%.
Nice.
So that is the best performing of our indexes. Once again, is the Masternode coins, not by a huge amount this time, only by a couple percent. Did they outperform the top 100?
And leading the way in the category was Blocknet, which was on the top 100 list as well, because they're just up so much this week, 103%.
Flax Script, I don't know what that one's about, up 62%. That's only to rank 461, so it doesn't have much effect on the index. Batacoin up 59, Crown up 53, and Pivex, a big one, up 40%. And even, I'm pretty sure Dash was way up too.
Right.
Obviously has a huge impact on this list. As far as the losers, BitRadio, DAS, Renos, Chaincoin, and Syndicate all kind of lost about 40 to 30% range. And those are all ones that mostly had recent big pumps too. So not surprising to see them lose a little bit of ground.
Exactly. Yep. No matter what time you enter this type of trading adventure, learning that the markets really do go up and down is so valuable. And and we rarely see markets not go back down after going up.
Yep, always that retrace. Unless you're Bitcoin going from 3,000 to 4,000, right?
Yeah, unless you're Bitcoin.
We'll see. So yeah, that's cool stuff, man. Cool to see that the kind of the divergence still remains on Masternode coins. Now, what's going to really be interesting on these things is, kind of what happens when the tide turns. So we have some really big Masternode coins, Gaining Ground, Blocknet, Dash, Pivx. What's going to happen when the tables turn? Are we going to see a broad-based divergence downward? Will they just kind of return to the mean?
I don't know. The Masternode coins in particular fascinate me because Masternode technology is viewed as economically worthwhile technology as opposed to strictly a security-based technology, right? At this point?
Yeah, there's an element to it where people have realized that the technical benefit is less impactful for the coin than the market impact of how it incentivizes people to hoard the coin, basically.
Right. So I've definitely recognized that with the Masternode coins, but how it translates into long-term success for any of these, man, I couldn't even imagine to guess.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting to see how this category plays out.
They're all following, you got to keep in mind, they're all following Dash's example in regards to Masternodes, right?
Oh yeah, big time, yep.
And so all that perceived success is coming from a very successful coin that may be successful for reasons beyond the Masternodes.
Beyond the technical aspects, yep, that's true.
All right.
But then again, we're seeing, the power of a good idea. Ideas can be contagious and stuff too, and this Masternode idea, as far as one way to up the value of your blockchain, is one that's gained a lot of traction. If you, when developers will do like a poll or something of like, hey, what features do you think I should add? If Masternodes is on the list, it's almost always one of the top selections.
Mm-hmm.
So people do see it as a valuable, kind of a value-adding feature.
In multiple ways, too.
Yeah. All right. At any rate, that is it for the custom indexes this week. Our overall numbers, we got alts at 85.2 billion. That's another new all-time high. That's up about 8.4 billion from last week.
That puts Bitcoin dominance at 46%, which is down 0.9 this week.
And Ethereum dominance, as you might expect, is up about 1.2% to 37.6. We calculate that a little differently than like the CoinMarketCap one. That is the percentage of Ethereum of the overall altcoin market. So Bitcoin is excluded. But still, 37.6%. That's pretty good, and usually Ethereum dominance going up is often a sign that we're entering into an alt kind of bull market. But as we said earlier, there's no precedent to explain what markets will do when we're this deep into a huge bull trend.
Nobody's been here before.
Good stuff.
All right, let's give away some DOT.
Alrighty, that's it for the markets. Now it is time for a DOT giveaway.
We're giving away 30,000 DOT this afternoon to a live listener if they can answer this question correctly by tweeting at Chain Dynamics publicly. That's to help make sure that everybody can see you got the question right first. I think we're going to ask for a maximum of 2 submissions on this question.
2 attempts. We're allowing 2 attempts. Nice. I like that.
The question is, name the coin that has a Genesis block timestamp of August 28th, 2013, and also had an initial block reward of 420 coins per block. Whew. I wasn't trying to mix you up with that last bit of information. I just thought it might help if you needed to narrow it down.
Yeah, no, totally, man. So the question, once again, we are looking for the name of a cryptocurrency that has a Genesis block of August 28, 2013. Got an initial block reward of 420 coins per block. Name that crypto.
Yep.
You're going to tweet us at Chain Dynamics. Once again, we used to like DMs, but now we like the regular tweets. So just tweet at Chain Dynamics with your answer to the question. You get 2 chances, 2 picks. There's not that many coins from 2013, right?
Yeah, well, we'll see. Good luck.
And once again, you got to get it by the end of the show, or we will roll it over to next week, and we'll have a preposterous 40,000 DOT giveaway.
Yep.
That'd be sweet.
All right.
Ready.
Our next section is what we're calling user mentions, and this is when people come over to the Cryptopia thread and suggest maybe ICOs or different things that we aren't super aware of. We might pick them up, might talk about them on the show.
Alrighty, so we got a couple of suggestions for you this week. We're going to take a look at Flypme, flip.me, and we're going to look at SmartIFT.
Okay, so first up,
Okay.
Flypme. The easiest way to describe this is that it's a lot like Shapeshift.
That's right. This the product that they're offering here is going to be a decentralized exchange. It's like a single-step exchange, so not, if you're used to order books and all that crap, it's nothing like that. It's just like you say, I have BlackCoin and I want Dogecoin. The exchange will do an automatic conversion for you. So you kind of feed it one of the addresses, and it will just kind of return the coins to you. So it's a no registration system, like no sign-up required.
Yep, just operated with addresses. They're also running an ICO.
It's true.
What does their token get you? Let's see. They're trying to say they're going to do some profit sharing.
Yeah, it's a dividends model. And also voting. And they're a competitive service to Shapeshift. Okay, that makes sense. Doing it with an ICO, that kind of makes sense. So what's interesting here, first up, the product is working already. You can go to the website and use the exchange thing. It's not the product itself, from what I can tell, it's not necessarily fully decentralized, right? They're running a service that you get access to. You don't have to give them any private keys, so in that sense, you retain control of the assets. But if this company goes bankrupt, if they just disappear for whatever reason, is the system going to be able to continue running? Is always my question.
Well, I don't think it would be, because they make it clear that the reason they're able to make the transactions so fast is that they are holding basically a reserve of all the coins that they're going to be swapping, right?
Right. So the product here is actually kind of essentially you're buying into what is a form of conventional business, right?
Yeah.
Which, that's interesting, but then you wonder, so the thing about these dividends models and stuff is that they, in the world of crypto, I've said this before, usually adoption is kind of low in terms of relative to the overall value of the product. The vast majority of people holding these tokens and things are going to be speculators who are mostly interested in the price of the token itself. The dividends typically in this model amount to something that is a pretty small percentage of what the value of the token is compared to what the volatility of the markets typically is. So the amount of opportunity that is there to profit off of the dividends model is relatively low. But as with all tokens, the amount of possibility of profiting off the value of the underlying asset is potentially a lot higher. So this kind of falls into that kind of typical dynamic of ICOs.
Yeah.
As far as the people that are making it, this is brought to you by the Holy Transaction team.
Oh, yeah. They say that they are one of the oldest multi-coin wallets or something like that.
Yeah, so Holy Transaction's actually in a way similar to Shapeshift as well. It's a wallet. Again, it's one where you don't hold your private keys.
Okay.
So it's a service, I guess you could say. And it allows you to spend a cryptocurrency in any other cryptocurrency. So you could put Bitcoin on it and say, I send a Bitcoin to Holy Transaction, please send 100,000 Dogecoin to this address, and the system will take care of that automatically. They've been up and running for a while, it looks like, and from everything I can see, the identity of the people doing it and stuff checks out. And it also is a similar product to what the Flip.me thing is, right? So you piece this all together, and this is a very, I guess, believable ICO for me. Like, it seems pretty clear to me that, there's no guarantees in crypto, right? But it seems like this is a person who can deliver on the product that they are offering, which is always a good thing. It's just a question of what does that actually mean for an investor in terms of reasonable returns over the long term.
Yeah.
As far as, this crazy ICO boom that we're in.
Right. Very cool idea for a project, though. Flypme.
Flip.me, yeah, cool to see competitors for services like Shapeshift. Always good to have competition in those markets. Decentralized exchange overall is getting to be a really competitive market.
Whole bunch of different approaches.
Alrighty, so that's our look at Flip.me.
We're going to also take a look at SmartIFT.
SmartIFT. IFT here stands for Investment Fund Token. So this is another broad category of ICOs that is becoming, we're seeing a lot more specimens of, right? The last one was a decentralized exchange type category.
Yep.
This one is the investment fund category,
Mm-hmm.
where essentially the people running it are saying, we need some money, we're going to turn it into more money, and you're going to get a share of the profits.
Right. How are they going to do that?
They have an algorithmic trading system. So this is probably the third bot-based coin that we've reviewed recently too.
Yeah, this is definitely a popular theme at the moment.
So the idea is that they are using this algorithm is called Smart Trader. It's a software product that was created in 2007 in the Forex community. And the idea is that it's been successful there, and they have successfully ported the underlying principles over to cryptocurrencies. And the point of the ICO is to capitalize their trading bot.
Nice. And then how you get payments on a basis of some time?
It's another dividends-based model.
Okay.
So you get, a percentage of profits goes out to people based on how many tokens they hold.
Now, this would be different than one of the other similar options we looked at recently where you would choose your investment strategy. This one you would have less control, if I understand right.
Yeah, this is you're putting your faith in these people's algorithmic system.
They claim to have good reputations.
Right, yeah. The presentation on all this is actually really solid. The white paper on it was I would say well above average, I guess, of what I'm used to in terms of describing a workable product that makes sense. The trading algorithm that they're referring to, this Smart Trade or whatever, it's based on volume price analysis, which is essentially where you look at the differing volumes at every price level. Normally, when you look at a chart on an exchange, they'll give you the volume based on the time. And so the volume price analysis will instead look at what the volume is at the different price ranges. You can actually draw some really good insights. So it's a believable, it's a believable area of potential, I guess, is what I'm trying to say, as far as that goes. Sometimes, sometimes the algorithmic models they're talking about don't really make sense in terms of the economics of scale and stuff they're talking about. That is less the case here. So yeah, again, really high quality presentation. One thing is it was difficult to try and validate the credentials of any of the people that are running it. They have like LinkedIn profiles, but they both have kind of common names, and it's hard to actually determine if it's, the actual reputation of the people doing it. They don't really have huge online profiles. Usually what you're looking for is like reports that mention them in the context of of their backstory. And you don't see a lot of that here. But like I said, the presentation on this one's really solid compared to what I'm used to. It's very believable to me that they are attempting to do what they're trying to do. That said, there's I always have a lot of questions with these crypto investment fund type bots. One is the economics of scale of a lot of algorithmic trading work out such that, the less capital you have, the more opportunity there is. So if you're an ICO and you're going to raise $100 million, the amount of available opportunity in the market for some of these strategies isn't there at that kind of volume. And so you're going to get a kind of a element of diminishing returns there, I guess. And so that brings you to, how is the ICO structured? And it's a completely open cap ICO, so they could raise as much money as they potentially want to. Like if something like this raises $100 million, are they really going to be able to effectively allocate and use those funds in the model that they've described? And if they can't, how is that going to affect their ROI?
They're just going to become spoofy then.
Right. And as people, I'm sure these people, as algorithmic traders, will know the limitations of their own system, right? They're not going to, and so I would expect their ROI calculations and stuff to reflect that. I don't see anything like that. On the other hand, they're claiming an expected return of about 40% per year, which in the context of what they're doing is actually reasonable. They're not like throwing out crazy numbers or anything.
Yeah. Interesting. That you can find more information. Let's see. The actual token is called SIFT.
SIFT, SIFT, SmartIFT. So yeah, well presented, cool idea, definitely worth checking out. And we always recommend due diligence and patience with regards to ICOs. So yeah, that is SmartIFT and Flypme. These are both kind of a lot of similarities here, right? They're both centralized services offering tokens for dividends of what it is that they're doing, right? None of these are like kind of revolutionary decentralized platforms, kind of more just traditional businesses raising money with ICOs.
Yeah, that's happening more and more. Cool.
To do kind of non-traditional things, but okay, cool stuff.
Mostly finance-related stuff, which makes sense at this point.
It's true.
We appreciate those suggestions from the thread, and we will take a look at a few more next week.
It's true. We'll be back. We love suggestions. Keep them coming. A lot of interesting stuff that we would not see otherwise. And with that, we are going to jump into our new coin segment.
New coins.
Love them new coins.
We like to look through Bitcoin Talk's new coins section and let you know a few of them. They're not really all great, but we especially like to point out ones that are actually mineable. Doesn't mean they're profitable to mine, just means they have proof of work.
They're logical to mine.
We like proof of work chains. We like airdrops. We like weird coins.
We like pre-announcements.
Mm-hmm.
If you announce your coin before launching it, that is something that we're into.
So proof of work, proof of stake coins this week. At the top of the list is a Vivo.
Vivo. All right, what's the story here on Vivo?
So what you got here is a new Masternode coin.
Oh, they got a nice shot of the New York skyline here.
Yeah.
Very classy stuff.
These guys are using the NeoScript algo, which is a little bit...
That's old school.
A little bit different.
That's an old school script knockoff.
Lots of the Masternode coins just use X11, right?
Yep. Oh, yeah, totally.
But beyond that one little novelty... got a pretty standard roadmap for a new coin, as in we're going to do our best, and there's no exchanges yet. And actually, the mining rewards are really bad on this coin compared to the pre-mine. The pre-mine being 920,000, and the rewards being 10 per block. So
about 92,000 blocks on the pre-mine. Most coins mine about 10,000 blocks a week, so it gives you a couple months for the miners to catch up to that. Of course, the masternodes. Did they get any big pools on this thing? Hexpool, Altminer, Steam, Octane. This is basically, it's a little more effort than your normal pre-mine coin, but it is still a pre-mine coin. And we've seen a lot of coins that kind of fit this pattern of, they're kind of like shiny-looking pre-mine proof-of-work coins that will hit Coin Exchange or Cryptopia and do solid volume for maybe a week or two.
Yeah.
And then they just kind of disappear. There have been quite a few examples of that recently, and it will remain to be seen. Is Vivo going to follow that mold? It seems the most likely thing for me.
If you're a hobby miner or somebody that is just trying to learn how to play around with blockchains and mining, then by all means, don't be afraid of these coins.
Yeah, the fun thing about mining is you can be a little more risky in terms of just the ridiculous kind of crap that's out there that you can try and mine. You don't have to worry about it, you don't have to... Sometimes you look at a coin and you're like, I don't know if I want to buy that just because I hate what it's about. Really, mining, nobody gives a shit.
So...
Vivo coin.
That's Vivo, a new Masternode coin out there. Another new coin this week is Phil's coin.
Phil finally got a coin.
Yep.
It's a script-based coin copied from Litecoin. This is what they say. This is what Phil says. We are a team of young developers fascinated by the disruptive blockchain technology. So here's our coin. It's a script clone coin with a 10% pre-mine. I guess what's funny to me about this is even the idea that it would take a team of people to create a script clone coin. Like, are they all huddled around one computer?
Yeah, they're mob programming that thing.
Huddled around one computer, painstakingly doing find and replace on one value at a time.
They do have a working block explorer and a website.
That's good, I guess.
So I'll give them a little nod for having their organization together a little bit. So, once again, if you can mine them cheap, might be a short-term minor play, but I just don't see the long-term viability yet.
And then in terms of, the last coin was 80,000 blocks worth of pre-mine. This one has 120,000 blocks worth of pre-mine, I think. So that's even more pre-mine than Vivo. I think Vivo would be better than Phil's if you're looking for something shitty to mine, but...
Let's keep it going.
Alrighty, what's next here?
This is either Mito or Mito, M-I-T-O coin.
Mito coin.
And let's see, at the core of it is at least a mineable chain, 50 coins per block. This was kind of funny. Their pre-mine was to be, quote, used for financing the momentum as opposed to financing the development. So
you got to finance that momentum, man.
The ironic thing there for me, it has to be that there's only one direction you can increase the momentum of a market with your pre-mine. it's
downward.
It's not in everybody's favorite direction.
Yeah, you cannot increase the momentum upwards of a coin by dumping the pre-mine, believe it or not.
But
that's a hilarious
I was actually
observation.
having some trouble understanding the actual theme of this coin because it seems like maybe they're saying you're going to send them a digital art picture of a person, and then through a decentralized voting process, the image will be combined with their logo, and then they'll send that graphic back to you so you can get it printed on a shirt. They make it clear that they will not print the shirt for you, though.
That's such a hilariously specific and weird service to attach to what's obviously just a generic coin, but... All right, they do have a picture of Bruce Lee and Chuck Norris here, so that's got to count for something.
Those are just examples.
With Gandhi.
They make it clear that you could just upload a picture of your friend if you wanted to.
These graphics are incredible.
Yeah.
It's like a graphic of Bruce Lee and Gandhi. What? Bob Marley's in there. All right, Mito coin. So it's just another script clone, but kind of a funny offbeat premise to it. Alrighty, next here up in the new coins, Pokercoin.
Pokercoin is the name of the coin, and this is another proof of work coin, so it's worth mentioning on the show, but there is not really much here. It's a script clone, and its name is Pokercoin because poker's popular.
And it's a 10% hidden pre-mine, just a low effort clone.
Platinum coin.
Platinum coin is next.
This is another new X11 coin with masternodes, of course.
Oh, really? They're piling them on. Really? Where does it say that? Oh, there
10,000,
it is. 10,000 platinum.
Masternode.
Pre-mine 9 million. Pre-mine 9 million platinum. We will burn them later.
Yeah, quote unquote.
That's so nice of them.
Now, you could have just not ever minted them.
No. It's much better to burn them. Mess up the supply count forever.
So yeah, with those types of statistics, they do a great job of scaring me away from wanting to mine it. There are some huge bounties or translations available compared to the block rewards. So if you're a translator or a wallet compiler, I mean, why not, right? If
you're chasing bounties.
Yep. If you're a bounty hunter.
Otherwise, a shitty coin.
Up next is Wiser coin.
Wiser coin.
This is basically our standard wallet builders coin.
Yep, this is they didn't
even really leave a description for us.
Do we at least have graphics?
No. Why did I put this one on here? I guess just because it's a proof of work coin.
They made it. They did it.
Yeah.
They paid for the copy. It's something. All right. Wiser coin is just a wallet builders. Nothing to see.
All right.
That's it for the proof of work coin. Next, we will jump into the airdrop. Doing airdrops.
Yeah, we got one airdrop worth mentioning this week, and its name is POS Token.
POS Token.
It is claiming to be the world's first proof-of-stake smart contract token.
Already.
That's kind of an
interesting
thing to say. Interesting thing to say because tokens don't actually move their own chains along, so it's not really proof of staking. It's just like people getting interest for having tokens.
All right, that's always so. It's a smart contract administered proof of stake, essentially, or something like that.
Yep, and it works kind of. How do you trigger the proof of stake? Would be a really normal question for somebody to ask.
I would ask that.
You trigger it by either sending a transaction once you have earned the minimum coinage, or you can run some type of command from the type of wallet that will accept commands.
So you claim it.
Yep.
You have to actively claim
You
your
have to
stake.
manually kind of do that part.
All right.
Sounds like it would be pretty easy to script, though.
Honestly, kind of a cool approach. Again, it's a little disingenuous to call it proof of stake because it's a token. It's not actually authenticating the blockchain in that way. But it is cool to have a contract that administers an interest-giving function to the tokens on the chain. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I'm into that. And I also like it when things are airdrops. So, honestly,
yeah.
I'm cool with all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, that airdrop will start on the 28th of August, and it looks like it goes through September 12th. So, that is POS Token airdrop if you want to check it out.
Usually airdrops do not last long. If you actually want to try and cash in on airdrops, the best way is to get like an announcement, a bot. I know that the BipCoin used to have one that would just tweet out all the Bitcoin talk announcements. Just glance through them. If it's an airdrop, see if it's worth getting in on. Is always a good strategy. But yeah, this one hasn't even started yet. The coin is POS Token.
The next one is not on Bitcoin Talk because it is Whoppercoin.
I bet you can find it. I bet someone's posted a thread.
Really?
Let's find it. And Whoppercoin. Bitcoin
I
Talk.
doubt it.
Oh, you're right. I don't see one.
I wouldn't have missed that one.
All right, Whoppercoin. This was in the news this week, man. Allegedly, the Burger King in Russia is launching their own cryptocurrency called Whoppercoin, where if you buy a Whopper, you can scan your receipt and they will credit you a Whoppercoin, which is a Waves token.
Nice.
This is a hilarious move, and personally, I am all for it.
Yep, I'm all for it. I really don't believe it, to be honest.
You're not buying this one? You don't think they're going to follow through with it?
I do believe that Burger King in Russia has been working on accepting Bitcoin.
Right, yeah.
But I need a little more proof that they issued this Waves token before I'm going to accept it.
You think maybe a random person issued Whoppercoin? I'm gonna pop on the decks here. Let's see if we can find Whoppercoin. I don't see any Whoppercoin yet. Maybe.
Oh, so it's not even... Dude, you should make it before they do. Uh-oh.
Oh, wait, I see 8. No, okay, now I see one.
Darn it.
I don't know if it's the right ticker, though.
Well...
Either way, funny stuff.
There'll be 100 Whoppercoins before breakfast.
I like this stuff because even though it's probably going to be like totally worthless, right? There's really no incentive for anyone to ever buy it. Even despite that, it'll always still have some kind of a non-zero price, just because that's how crypto can be weird like that. And so, in theory, this could be a kind of a funny way for a lot of people to get their first crypto, right?
Oh, for sure.
You scan a receipt, you get some Waves tokens. Once you have Waves token, you can get just about any other crypto you can imagine.
Yeah, and if they were to describe a interesting promotion, then I would be probably able to get excited about it too. But with the amount of information that's actually been released so far, I'm just gonna remain in my grumpy skeptical corner.
I'm all about it. I'm pro Whoppercoin. Okay, next in the other random coin category, new special coin.
Oh, don't forget. Sorry.
New special coin.
I almost had to jump. I almost jumped forward to Snowcoin there on accident.
This doesn't look like anything.
This might not look like anything, but what you have here is a guy that claims he has everything he needs for a new coin. For making a new coin with a new algo and no pre-mine. All he doesn't have is a name for his coin, Brandon.
Everything's here but the coin.
And he needs you to give him a name for his coin. So if you're able to believe that, or if you're just interested in keeping an eye on the weirdness of the cryptocurrency world, then that is new special coin.
Oh, people are suggesting names. It's working. It's funny. All right. Okay, new special coin. Next on the list here, Snow.
Snow is a coin dedicated to Jon Snow of Game of Thrones fame.
Finally, Jon Snow gets his own coin. This guy says that he's not the dev. Just letting everybody know about this coin. It's a proof of stake coin. Looks like 100% pre-mine.
Right. Yeah.
So
this is very much a, novelty collector's coin because this distribution is poor. But it looks like they're also planning on making some type of little game related to Game of Thrones and looking for help with that. And so maybe they're also going to give away some coins to people that are willing to become part of their thing they're working on.
It seems pretty obvious. The whole point of this is that they just pre-mined a coin and are trying to sell it on Coin Exchange.
That is Snowcoin.
Kreds is next on the list here.
Kreds. This is another pre-announcement. This one would be a pre-announcement for another Dash clone that will at some point be Ninja launched with no pre-mine, they're saying. The main difference between it and Dash would simply be a quicker emission.
Okay. Yep, very little information here, so just a pre-announcement.
Yep, I'm just trying to keep track of some of these pre-announcements.
Next on our list here, PIRL.
All right, another pre-announcement here for yet another no pre-mine, no ICO coin. So it's kind of a theme here with these pre-announcements this week. You're seeing like almost one of every type. This is an Ethereum clone pre-announcement.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a Dash clone pre-announcement, an Ethereum clone pre-announcement, and a unknown algo coin pre-announcement, right?
All right.
This one is PIRL, the Ethereum supposed one.
Once again, there's a lot of pre-announcements here, but none of these actually have the feel of something that's real. It's just like somebody's like, oh, I thought of a coin.
Yep.
You know, there's none of it. Usually, like a good pre-announcement, there's usually some indication that they've actually put some effort into it, but you never know in this environment. A lot of times people will undersell their product.
Right. Let's see. That one is not until like the end of September anyway, so
PIRL, a possible upcoming Ethereum clone.
we'll try to give you an update on it prior to it launching or not.
Ready. Then we also have a Bitcoin Pay.
All right, Bitcoin Pay. This one is worth mentioning because they are going to snapshot the Bitcoin blockchain.
Oh. All right.
Yeah.
Bitcoin snapshots. So you think there's going to be a lot more Bitcoin snapshots now that...
Well, I sort of thought it was going to become
Bitcoin
in
Cash?
vogue. Yeah, I thought it would become like a thing. But, you know, generally I think it's maybe a little bit harder to pull off technically than a clone coin.
Right.
And so whether or not this one will be successful at all, I have no idea. And whether or not other people will even try to do it, I have even less of an idea.
These posts are all just such low effort, man. There's no indication anywhere in this post that this person has the technical expertise to do what he's saying. It's like just 100 words that anybody could type. But we'll see. He says he's going to do it on 9/11, September 11, 2017.
So the big takeaway here, as far as what he's saying as well, is that his snapshot version of the Bitcoin blockchain will support ERC20 tokens.
The only comment in the thread is bad start date. That's fine.
Right.
All right. Yeah, so he's saying it's going to support ERC20 tokens, and it's a Bitcoin fork. We'll see.
It's hard to believe. So we'll wait and find out.
Ready. I think that is it for the new coins this week.
Yeah.
So looking at it, we kind of need a pretty normal week of stuff. I'm going to say POS Token's the most interesting for me, the airdrop. Proof of work, we're kind of all just high pre-mine stuff.
Yeah. Let's see.
Whoppercoin. Gotta love Whoppercoin, man.
I'd take a free Whoppercoin, I guess. Suppose if I was going to mine something, I might mine Vivo, but I'm not. I wouldn't.
Fair enough.
I do like these pre-announcements, I'll be honest. I know that they have no
Me
information and that they have a lot to prove still, but historically, I've had a lot of good success watching pre-announcements.
That makes sense.
All right.
Yeah, man, I agree. I mean, I'd rather have a pre-announcement than an actual launch of something that sucks.
Right.
So that is going to do it for our new coins this week. Next, we got our coin listings. Which exchanges listed which coins?
Which exchanges listed which coins? And we like to start it off with Cryptopia.
It's true. Over on Cryptopia, they listed MyBit, Omisco, QTUM, 10x, BipCoin, the DBIX, the new one, Neo, Creamcoin, Embers, Royal Kingdom Coin, Athenian Warrior Token, and Masternode coin.
That is right.
Nothing on T-Rex this week.
Nothing on T-Rex.
Sad stuff. Nothing on Polo, obviously.
Nope, they listed 2 things last week. They would not want to push it too hard.
Don't want to get too crazy.
But CoinExchange.io listed a few things. They listed MyBit Token, MarsBucks 2, BRAT, Healthy Food Program, eBullion Coin, Peace Coin, Protein, Theresa May Coin, ULA Tech, Philion, InvestFeed, and CYDER.
All right. Pretty quiet week on these listings. Mostly just Cryptopia kind of rounding out their Ethereum tokens and that kind of stuff.
Yep. Nothing much for me to think about on the listing sides here.
Alrighty, so I guess we will close out our show as usual with a good old-fashioned coin birthday.
Yep, we'll wish a happy 1-year birthday to BipCoin.
BipCoin. Wow.
They came out on August 17th of 2016, and
I'll be damned.
You know, they don't look like they're doing too hot, but I'm gonna say that they're alive because they've got a block explorer and some people barely posting. But you know what this is? You know what's funny about this?
It's crypto, man.
Yeah, this is a crypto.
crypto.
No, I was going to say this is a crypto note coin.
Oh,
so this
great.
at one point this might have been a crypto note coin of the week, but
Yeah.
you'll appreciate this, Brando. They did fix the exploit.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. They just moved up big in my ranks.
So happy birthday to BipCoin, and
BipCoin, I say kudos to you.
maybe we'll see you around the sun again.
That's hilarious. All right. Cool. That's dope. 1-year birthday. Happy birthday, BipCoin. And that is going to do it this week. Blockchain Dynamics. Once again, we are brought to y'all by Cryptopia.co.nz. You're going to want to check them out. They got a great selection of coins.
Mm-hmm.
Great features. They got that troll box, tipping. You can transfer money, direct money transfers. They got a clicking game. It's just endless possibilities.
Also home of the New Zealand tethered dollar.
Yeah, NZDT.
And you can check out more information about our show or our archives over on blockchaindynamics.net.
Yeah, hit us up. We like suggestions. We like altcoin news. Stuff like wallet updates and stuff, like the Stratis wallet update and stuff. We have a hard time. That kind of news doesn't show up in like aggregators and stuff. So if anybody knows of any coin wallet updates, future releases, testnets, alpha type stuff, let us know about it.
That's right. This has been Blockchain Dynamics, episode number 76. You listen to Error by Trial Radio. We'll see you next week with way heavier bags.
Currency.
Stuck a couple bitcoins.
Money,
Pull up on my Nakamoto.